right, book enthusiasts, we are here at the American Library Association, where we are surrounded by authors and illustrators and publishers. Oh my! And I am here with two award-winning authors who are going to tell you all about their book, which is this, Wild and Wise Witch. So, for our first question, well, first I would like for you to please introduce yourselves to our audience, and then we will get to why you chose Wild and Wise Witch for the title of your book. We may start with...
Great. Hi, I'm Bev Adamo.
I'm Terri Clifton.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. So, why did you choose this title for your book?
Well, Bev's company is Wild and Wise Women, and we decided to take on the slur of the word witch. We have originally used it as an acronym, Women Inspiring Truth, Compassion, and Humanity.
Fabulous. We need more of that every single day. So, why did you choose to use a daily reader format for the book?
Oh, I would love for Terri to talk about that because her story is so moving and so powerful that I think every woman out there should hear part of it. So please go ahead.
In 2005, my son was an active duty Marine. He was killed in action in Ramadi, Iraq, and he was 19 years old. He was a writer. And he said, "Mom, if I don't make it home, you have to write my story." So I did, and I was done. I was absolutely done writing nonfiction, and I went to fiction and stayed there for a number of years until I met this lady. And when we decided about what we were going to do, we taught for a year. We knew it needed to become a book. But I remembered how overwhelmed I was when I was struggling, and large chunks of information just wouldn't stay in my head. And so, in a world full of chaos, which we have today, we thought maybe the most effective way wasn't to information dump, but to inspire in small daily pieces.
That is absolutely fantastic. And you are right. With so much input, it's nice to go for the heart instead of the information overload for a change. What is the journey of The Wild and Wise Witch since it has been published?
Wow, this has been such an amazing journey. As Terri said, she originally came to me and said, "How would you like to teach a class on magic?" I said, "Oh yeah, I'm in." And it was so funny because she had a proposal and was ready to just like sell me on the idea, and all she had to do was mention it and then yes. So we taught magic. We taught women to know who they are. So it's not, we aren't teaching rules. We aren't teaching anything that's more dogmatic. It's all about discovering a self-discovery, a journey of self-discovery. So we taught the magic. We saw the amazing changes in the women who were working with us, and then we took a year and we lived the magic and the changes in our lives. Oh my gosh, that's a book in itself right there.
You made magic within yourselves as well.
We did. So many incredible things, from me finding my absolutely perfect man and our forever home and things like that, and Terri being able to bring herself from a place that physically, emotionally, and everything else where she was into this incredible health and the ability to do what is in her heart, which is dance and be joyful and all of that thing, all of that. So then we said, well, we need to write a book.
Yes, you do.
So we took all of our teachings, because we recorded everything, and we started picking out the different things that needed to come together. And then from the East Coast and the West Coast, because that's where we both are, we're separated by the whole United States, and we said that's not going to stop us. We're going to make sure that we get this in there. And it was such a pleasure and a joy bringing this together. A lot of work. Thank you.
It was a lot of work, but in the end it fell together quite easily. And we were rather astonished at how well we worked together and how we were able to bring Witch her own voice. It's not Bev's voice, it's not my voice, it's a compilation of all the voices we encountered in that year of teaching.
That is absolutely incredible because you did, I love your definition of magic. It is so just yours, you know, and you're able to inspire other women to feel this type of magic and make magic within themselves. I would love to know how the two of you met.
Well, I had my company. I bought my company, Wild and Wise Women, and I'm out there doing my thing and coaching and supporting women and things like that. And Terri, I didn't even know but you've been following for a while.
A while.
Yeah.
I was a fan of the company before
I got it, yes.
And we just sort of fell together. Our very first workshop we taught together was actually based on John O'Donohue's writing.
Okay.
And we wrote a prayer for our wild soul, which was wonderful, but it was very heavy lifting. And we realized that we weren't going to reach the most women
Sure.
with the heaviest information. So we backed up a little bit.
Yeah.
What we didn't realize is how much we needed to back up a little bit. And then we reapproached it with a kind of play. And we believe in the power of play.
Yes.
And so we made it fun and enjoyable and
magical.
having a blast. Yes.
Yes.
And actually, Terri is one of our authors. I did a couple of women's books that are collaborative books, so different authors writing their own stories, because that's what I'm all about, is helping women to find their voice and their stories and their inspiration. And when she showed up, but then I don't remember talking you into it, though.
I distinctly remember you refusing to close the door on the opportunity.
Oh, okay.
And
Never close a door.
because I never intended to write about my personal journey with grief. And what I ended up writing for Bev was exactly that, my return to joy. And I didn't understand how powerful that would be once it was outside of me and the women I would connect with. And so it became another level of healing for me, but also a level of empowerment, because something gets taken from you when you lose a child that you don't think you can ever access again. You're not sure you have a right to it. So being able to come through that, yes, I was inspiring other women, but I was living it.
Right.
And by living it, I began to embody it. And that's what magic is. It's the embodiment of the full self, authentic. There is no supernatural. It's all natural. We just have to claim it.
Yes, and I think that's something that you don't hear enough. You hear so much about what you need to be and fit into these boxes and how you're supposed to feel in certain situations, especially as women.
Yes.
And there's such iconic stereotypes of what women should be and what experiences women have and how they should feel in those experiences, and you're completely shattering those walls around those boxes. And I think that's what makes this such an inspiration too, is because you are living proof that this is magical and works. So
Life-changing.
yes, and so you've talked about your target audience as obviously women. You're inspiring other women. Is there anything you'd like to add to that about who should be reading this book and what they can take away from it?
We have both been amazed at how men pick up this book.
That's what I was hoping you were going to say.
This is amazing.
Completely, yeah. It's been amazing.
And I'm not sure either of us really expected that. We have very supportive men in our lives, very well-developed men in our lives, and we knew that they were good with it, but we didn't figure the average guy on the street was going to resonate with it, but they do.
Awesome.
Yes.
There's this understanding, especially from children's books, from middle grade YA all the way up to adult books, that women and girls will read books about girls and boys, but boys will only read books about boys. So you've obviously been shattering that glass ceiling as well, so that's very exciting.
Thank you.
I'd love to hear if there are plans for you to collaborate in the future on projects.
Oh,
Three,
yes.
four,
Ooh,
five.
yay! That's what I was hoping you would say. You're fulfilling all of my hopes and dreams right here.
Thank you.
Yes.
We have, right now, just the two of us are writing our first cozy.
Okay.
Our first foray into fiction. I'm primarily a fiction writer.
Okay.
We have a second book in the vein of which only has a working title right now, but it is actually the structure that I put under my life in order to get Wild and Wise Witch written.
Okay.
And I never expected it to turn into a book.
Okay.
But I found a way to manage all of what was going on in my life. And when Bev found out what I was doing, she called it Project Bev, and she started doing it as well. And she just took it and ran with it. And then she started teaching it
gives
to
me the
other women.
shivers.
And when she started teaching it to other women, we started seeing that effect. So we sort of feel like it's the next step from which. This is seeing the magic. The next is embodying the magic.
Yes.
It's a book about building a foundation for your dreams at any age. So it's really covering the spectrum, because wherever you are is where you're meant to be, and it's your starting point for your next big, awesome
It involves
journey of your
a lot
Yes.
of clarity,
Yeah.
a lot of discernment, and a lot of self-responsibility.
I think that's such a timely topic too, because so often you hear about people upset because they think they've quote unquote missed some opportunity, when in reality they weren't meant to have that. They were
Exactly.
meant to have that experience, move on to whatever is supposed to be coming next.
So much of what we want in life is a process.
Oh gosh, yes.
And we've gotten so we want to skip the process.
Right.
But that's the meat of the journey. It's the things that we learn in the difficult times
Yes.
can apply to our dreams and fly with. And so that's kind of what we're doing. We're slowing women down to that what do I actually need to do to get to the very next step. We believe in baby steps.
Yes.
That's how you have to start.
Yes.
Start with baby steps.
It's a slow process. You don't want to rush anything.
Do not. You'll
There's
miss
no
things.
need to. There's no deadline. This is one of those few times where there is no deadline on this, unless you want to create something for yourself, which is again part of your own process.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So how can people get in touch with you if they would like to reach out? And also, how can people purchase your books?
Great. Well, we're on barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com, so using the internet is very easy. We're also in certain bookstores. We're doing book signings in different places and getting our books placed in the stores. Wildandwisewomen.com is my website. We're on Facebook and Instagram, either Wild and Wise Women or Wild and Wise Witch on Instagram.
Fabulous. And if you would please show us the book one more time so that everybody can see. Oh, that would make a fabulous frame right there. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today and for coming to the Headline Books and Zoom Into Books booth at the American Library Association. Again, congratulations on all of your success and best of luck with the next books. We hope that you'll be back next year to share your updated success with all of us.
Thank you so much, Ashley.
Thank you.